Good morning. I'm Heather Darden. You're here for a 1 hour beginner's flow. So, this flow is adapted for those that are just beginning to learn how to do vinyasa yoga. It will be a slower flow with more offers for how to do the different postures and the ability to be a little bit creative and modify as you need to do. Um, each posture will be with a breath, so you will need to stay focused on your breath. And if at any time you feel uncomfortable, anxious, or in pain, stop the practice. Maybe come into a child's pose with your toes together, knees apart, and take a few breaths, or end the practice completely. You need to take care of your body. You're the one that is responsible for it, so make sure you are enjoying your practice. And with that, we will begin. We're going to begin in a lying down position. So you just want to find a comfortable way to lie down. So that could be all the way down with your legs out. It could be with your knees bent, feet out, wide, knees canting in together. Or it could be on your side in the fetal position with your arms supporting your head. I really prefer this position with my knees bent and canting together. That helps open up my lower back a little bit. Wherever you are, roll your shoulders together underneath you. Let your arms come down beside your body, or you can release them up above your head if that's okay for your lower back. Allow your eyes to close, or if you're not comfortable with your eyes closed, just let the eyelids be heavy and let your eyes go back in their sockets. And find your breath. So sometimes to help me find my breath, I'll put my hands on my lower abdomen and my upper abdomen. Some people like to put one around their belly button and one on their heart. I find putting it on my heart makes it harder to breathe because of my breast tissue. So make sure your hands are in a place that's comfortable for you. And bring your awareness to your breath. The breath is really what is different about yoga from any other physical practice. You are aligning your movement with your breath. So focusing in on it is really important. So just notice for you where your breath is in your body. There's no right or wrong. You're just here to notice. Notice the pace of your breath. Doesn't matter if it's fast or slow or somewhere in between. You're just here to notice. Leaving some attention on your breath, go a little bit deeper and notice your emotions. How are you feeling emotionally? Notice your mind. How are you feeling mentally? And now notice your body. How does your body feel? Scan yourself, starting with the crown of your head, moving down and out through your fingers, down through your torso and pelvis, out through your toes. Are there places that feel open and ready? Are there places that feel maybe a little stuck or tight? Make note of these things. You'll use this information in your practice. And gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring it all the way down to the bottom of your lungs. Yawn it out. Inhale deeply. Exhale with a yawn. Well, that was a real yawn. I wasn't expecting that. Inhale deeply. Exhale with a yawn. A yawn can really help you let go of your jawline, let go of your jaw muscles, and letting go of your jaw muscles can help loosen up areas like your hips. For some reason in our brain, the jaw and the hip are connected. So if you're able to relax one, the other one in sympathy will also relax. Squeeze your shoulder blades together underneath you. Bring your knees into your chest and hug them close for releasing the wind pose, Apanasana. So draw your chin into your chest, hug yourself really tight, and then release into a big stretch on your mat. Point your toes, reach out through your fingers. Find more space. And then bring your knees in, open them out wide, flex your feet. You can hang on to the backs of your thighs. You can take your middle finger and index finger, wrap them around your big toe, or you can bring your hands and wrap them around the outside of your foot for a happy baby. I prefer the toe hold, it just feels good. While you're here, you can gently rock side to side. You can stay still if you prefer that. Remember, this is your practice. This is your body. It should feel good to you. Straighten one leg. And then straighten the other leg. Really reach out. Bend your knee in again. Maybe find that gentle rock. Bring your knees toward each other. Hug them in close. One more time. Bring the soles of your feet down to your mat. Preparing for bridge pose. We're going to do a few bridges here just to warm up the core and really get into our bodies. So you want your feet about hip bone distance apart. So you should be able to get a fist between your thighs and your knees. That's a good way to gauge it. Squeeze your shoulder blades together underneath you, and you want your feet pretty close to your butt. So I like to scoot myself a little bit closer. You want to be where you can just sort of reach your arm alongside your body and gently brush the outside of your foot with your middle finger. Squeeze your shoulder blades together underneath you. Draw the muscles beneath your belly button, right around here, your lower tummy, in and up, so they're really engaged. Press into your shoulder blades, press into your feet, and take yourself up. You can leave your arms out like this. You can reach your hands together underneath you and interlace the fingers, and then roll one shoulder under, and then the other shoulder. We're going to stay here for 3 more breaths. Check in on your knees. Don't allow them to fall together or to open out. You want to keep your knees in line with your ankles, so you are going to have to engage your inner thighs to keep them there. About 2 more breaths. When you are ready, if you have your hands interlaced, undo your fingers. Slowly roll yourself down. Your bottom is the very last thing to come down. Breathe deeply here. Take a moment. Notice how you're feeling. So we're going to do bridge as a flow to help us warm up. I will offer options. Remember to take care of yourself. You know your history. You know what you've injured and what you have not injured. So listen to your body. Take care of it. And if something I suggest doesn't feel good, then don't do it. That's the best advice I can give you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together underneath you. For the first couple flows, we'll do it without the arms. So just let your arms be long alongside your body. Inhale, take yourself up into bridge. Exhale, slowly lower down, the slowest you can possibly go, vertebra by vertebra. Your bottom barely touches down. You come back up. Lower down, vertebra by vertebra. We're going to add in some movement with the arms if you want to. This time, as you inhale, your arms come up. You can gently tap the floor behind you. And then as you come down, your arms also come down. If taking them all the way up over your head hurts, you can inhale and bring them up just so they're in line with your shoulders. Hold them there while you come all the way up. And then exhale, bring them down super slowly with your body. That's the version I'll be doing. I have shoulder injuries in my history, so I'll be taking care of myself. We're going to do 3 more. Inhale, come up slowly, press into your feet. Just to slowly lower down. Inhale up, press into your shoulder blades, press into your feet. Keep drawing the muscles beneath your belly button in and up, and lower down. Last one, inhale, come up. Stay here for a breath. And exhale. Slowly lower yourself down. Your bottom comes last as your hand touches down. Bring your knees into your chest. Draw them in. You might want to make circles with your knees. This just massages the connections that go into your sacrum, that upside down piece of bone at the base of your spine. It can feel a little tight in that area after you do bridge pose. And then bring your knees into your chest. Hang on to the backs of your knees or onto your shins. Take your chin into your chest and take a few rocks and rolls to come up. So you want to keep a curve to your spine. So it's like the letter C. And you just take a few rocks and rolls, eventually coming up to a seat. Roll your shoulders back and down and take a breath. Take a moment to notice how you're feeling with this part of your practice and notice where your breath has gone. Inhale, bring both arms up. Exhale, bring your right hand down. Take a side bend toward the right. Breathe deeply. Just opening up the side body a little bit here. Inhale, center. Exhale, take it to the other side. Press into your left hand. Reach out through your right fingers. Breathe deeply into your right side body. Inhale, center, exhale, come to the side, moving through a flow. Inhale, and exhale, come to the side, let your legs stay heavy. Inhale, center, exhale to the side, just warming up the obliques, making sure you're ready to flow. Bring both hands up, exhale, let them float down. Roll your shoulders back and down a few times. We're going to come to all fours for some classic cat and cow. As always, if you are tired of classic cat and cow and you want to move in some other way, please feel free to do that. We're just going to do 3 classic cat and cows, and it'll be time to move on your own. Make sure your fingers are opened out wide, your thumbs are relaxed. You want your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Press into your hands. You want your knees about hip bone distance apart. So that's about a fist between your knees. Inhale, sway your back, let your belly dip down. Take your heart forward between your arms and gaze forward. Exhale, reverse that, arch your back strongly. Take your shoulders up by your knees, your elbows, and take your nose toward your navel. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Use the shape to draw your breath in deeper. Exhale, cat. If you want, you can stay with this classic movement, or you can start to do some hip circles, going in one direction and then the other. You can also turn your hands around so your fingers face towards your knees for a gentle stretch on your wrists. And you can make small circles while you're in this position, or you can just stay still and breathe deeply. Whatever you're doing, just close your eyes and be creative. Notice where your body wants to go. If you're making circles, just make sure you take them in the other direction now so you're getting all the different connections. And if you've turned your fingers around for the wrist stretch, breathe deeply. Wherever you are, gently come back to tabletop position. You've turned your fingers around, turn your hands back around, sit back on your heels, shake out your wrists, shake them up above your head, and shake them down low. And then come back to tabletop position. We're going to switch and come up and back to downward facing dog. Turn your toes up underneath you, press up, take your heart toward your upper thighs. Bend your knees here, press into your hands, take your heart toward your upper thighs, and then see if you can melt your heels just a little bit more. In down dog, your heels don't have to touch the ground. Mine happen to just because of the way I am built, because I've worked for years to get my hamstrings to go a little longer. But there are times, like after a long car ride or plane ride, when my heels don't quite touch and I keep a bend, like a bigger bend in my knee. But there's always a slight bend in your knees to keep yourself from locking your knees out. Breathe deeply, press the floor away with your hands, take your heart a little closer to your upper thighs, and bend your knees alternately, just waking up your body slowly. Breathe. Then slowly bring your feet to stillness. Inhale, look up. Take steps all the way up, tiny steps, all the way up to your hands for forward fold at the top of your mat. Bring your hands to opposite elbows. Bend your knees, let your torso rest on your thighs for ragdoll. Let your head be heavy. You can shake your head yes and no. Let it be even heavier. You can take a gentle sway side to side, bending your knees alternately. Just notice what's happening for you as you forward fold. Breathe deeply. And come to stillness. Hang heavy. Gently release your hands. Press into the soles of your feet. Slowly stack yourself up, one vertebra at a time. Roll your shoulders back and down a few times once you're all the way up, noticing how you feel here in this upright position. And breathe deeply into whatever you find. I always find that I have to adjust my leggings, so feel free to do that if you need to. Roll your shoulders back and down. Hopefully you have yoga clothes that don't move around on you, but I do not. Inhale, bring your arms out and up. Reach out through your fingers, slide your shoulder blades down towards your waist. Breathe. Exhale, press the air down. Dive into your forward fold and hang heavy. Breathe deeply. Press into your shins or your thighs. Make the number 7 with your body. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. You can hinge up or stack up. It's your choice. Bring your arms out and up and bring your hands to prayer. Inhale, take your arms out and up. Exhale, press the air down, dive forward. Inhale, look out and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Bring your arms out and up. And bring your hands to your heart. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice. So an intention is just a word or a phrase, really short, 3 words maximum, to help you focus on your practice, on something particular in your practice. The words I like to choose, the ones I choose often are breathe, because I will forget to breathe, especially in twisted poses, or I am strong, because I think sometimes we can forget how strong we are and how much resilience we have. So choose your intention, what you will focus on during your flow. And take a deep inhale, breathe into your intention. Inhale. Exhale, let your intention filter out through your body. And bringing your intention with you, take your arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look out and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. We're going to add a little bit more onto this sequence. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, bring your arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look out and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands down to the mat. Step your feet back for high plank. You can also do tabletop position instead, or you can do plank on your knees. This is what I'll be doing, the middle option. Don't allow your bottom to sag. Keep your glutes in line with your spine. Don't allow your head to drop. Keep the back of your neck nice and long. So there's a gentle tuck to your chin, but you're not dropping your head. Gaze is somewhere out in front of your mat. Keep your neck nice and long. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Keep your elbows close to your body. You're in full plank. Turn the tops of your feet over. Press down into the tops of your feet. Press down into your hips. Scoop your belly button up towards your nose. Draw yourself forward and come up into just a baby cobra. Lift your hands up. Exhale, float down. Bring your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Turn your toes up underneath you. Come up to plank on your knees or full plank. And then move up and back, downward facing dog. 2 deep breaths here. Inhale, look up, step, hop, or float up. Press into your shins or your thighs. Make a number 7 with your body. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. 2 more of those. Inhale, bring your arms out and up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, look out and lengthen. Exhale, fold, hands down, plank, half plank, tabletop, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, your version of plank to downward facing dog, 2 breaths. Step forward, inhale, look out and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. This time I'm just going to call out the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Stay focused on your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And 2 inhales and exhales here. Check in on your alignment. Bend your knees. Take your heart toward your upper thighs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let your arms come down by your sides. Check in on your intention. Are you staying with your breath? Are you staying with the intention that you chose? If you're not, gently come back to it. If your breath is up high in your chest, take a moment now to bring it down to your lower abdomen, your lower lungs. And we will continue to flow. It's going to get a little bit different now, but I won't go too fast. We'll take it slow the first time through, and then we'll go a little faster the second time through. Inhale, bring your arms out and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look out and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands down. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Inhale, cobra or baby cobra. Exhale, come up and back. Take a breath here. Inhale, step your right foot forward, turn your left toes out, cartwheel open, warrior 2. So warrior 2 has a really wide stance, as you can see. You want to melt your shoulder blades down. If you have a difficult problem, if you have difficulty or letting your shoulders relax, you might think about turning your palms up. That prevents your shoulders from getting up by your ears, but still gives you a nice extended arm. You're pressing into the outer edge of your left foot. There's a nice deep bend in your right knee, trying to keep it over your ankle, so don't let it fall in. Keep it above your ankle. Gaze is out past your right middle finger, and check in. There can be a temptation to pop the rib cage out. Draw your sternum down towards your belly button. Really activate through your abs here. Breathe deeply. Straighten your right leg. Flip your hands over. Take your rib cage out over your thighs. Cartwheel over or windmill over to triangle pose. I like to use a block in triangle, or I like to float my hand. You can wrap your upper arm around your waist and just see if you can turn your heart toward the ceiling and keep your belly button drawing in and up. Breathe deeply. You can look up toward your middle finger. You can look to the side. You can look down at your lower hand. Just make sure you're not collapsing into that lower hand. You should be able to float it off your block easily. You're just using the block to help you draw yourself longer. Inhale, move your block, come up, reverse your triangle. So you're pressing down into your right foot strongly, reaching out through your right fingers. Left hand is just down on your leg, no weight in it at all. Breathe deeply. Inhale, turn both toes out, star pose. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, reach out through your fingers, nice wide stance. Keep a slight bend in your knees, don't ever lock them out. Exhale, goddess squat. Bend your knees, sink your hips down. So there's a tendency sometimes to take your rib cage forward. As much as you can, keep it over your pelvis. Keep your knees from collapsing in. Use your inner thighs to take them back behind you. You can sway here if you want. You can come up and down, working your inner thighs. Find a movement that you like. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. Bring yourself to stillness. Slowly straighten up, return to star. Turn your toes in like you're a pigeon toeing them. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lengthen. Draw your elbows together behind you and fold forward into wide-legged forward fold. So you can let your hands come down, walk them back in line with your feet, bend your elbows, draw yourself a little closer. Breathe deeply here. Keep pressing into the pinky edge of your feet, lifting your arch up, lifting all the inner leg muscles up. Bring your hands to your hips. Squeeze your elbows together behind you. Press in the outer edges of your feet and come up in one piece. Bring your arms out and up. Turn your right toes forward. Bend your knee. Return to warrior 2. So now I'm going to say a thing. If you've never done it before, you can follow along with me. If you already know what it is and you have a flow you like, feel free to do that. So we're going to do a vinyasa here. They're a part of a lot of vinyasa classes. It just means that you're matching a movement with your breath. So each movement has either an inhale or an exhale matched with it. I'm going to do the traditional vinyasa, and then I'll show you other options later. So, vinyasa, that's all you'll hear from the teacher. What you want to do is slowly cartwheel over, pick up your heel, come up onto your left toes, bring your hands down to frame your right foot. Step your right foot back to come to plank or plank on your knees. Lower down. Inhale to a cobra or a baby cobra. Exhale, come up and back to downward facing dog. You've done your vinyasa. That's one version. That's the classic version that most people do. Inhale, step your left foot forward, turn your right toes out, open up, warrior 2 on the other side. Check your rib cage. If it's popping out and you got a bend, strong back bend, draw your sternum towards your belly button. Look out past your middle fingers. Remember, melt your shoulder blades down. Maybe turn your hands up. Breathe deeply and act like you're trying to pull the mat apart with your feet. It's a very strong position here, warrior 2. Breathe deeply. It does feel strange to do it with my back to you, but it does give you another angle to look at. Straighten your left leg. Flip your hands over. Take your hand over and come to triangle pose. Again, you can grab a block to help you elongate your spine. You can wrap your hand around your waist. That feels good to my shoulder today, so that's what I'm doing. You can look down at your hand. You can look at the wall in front of you and turn your head and look up if that's okay for your neck. If looking up brings any tightness to your neck, don't do it. It's not good. Your neck doesn't like it. Keep drawing the muscles beneath your belly button in and up throughout the practice, just to guard your lower back. Keep it nice and safe. Inhale, come up. Bring your right hand down, your left hand up. To reverse your triangle, find a stretch along this outer left hip. Breathe deeply. Inhale, star pose. Turn both toes out, reach your fingers out, and bend your knees. Melt into your goddess squat. So again, you can find a gentle sway side to side. Keep your rib cage over your pelvis. Don't allow yourself to fall forward. And watch your knees. Keep them reaching back behind you. I'm going to sway side to side this time. I did up and down last time. This is a nice challenge for my inner thighs, for my breathing. This is a place where a lot of people tend to forget to breathe. It's a very strong pose, but keep your breath going. Stay with your intention. Inhale, straighten your legs. Take your arms out and up. Star pose again. Turn both toes in toward each other. Bring your hands towards your hips. Reach your elbows back behind you and fold forward. Standing forward bend. You might need to move your block out of your way. You might need to readjust your feet. This time, if you want, you can try wrapping your middle finger and index finger around your big toe, gently pressing your thumb into your big toenail, bending your elbows, and see if you can draw yourself a little bit closer to your legs. Inhale, lengthen, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold deeper. Last breath here. Bring your hands to your hips. Reach your elbows together. Inhale, come up. Reach your arms out. Turn your left toes toward the front. Bend your knee. Return to your warrior two. So, vinyasa. You can do the classic vinyasa, or you can try this alternative that I will offer. An alternative, you still need to cartwheel over. You step your left foot back. You bring your knees down. You come into tabletop for a cow and a cat, and another cow and a cat. And then you turn your toes up underneath you and press up and back to downward facing dog. An alternative to downward facing dog is always child's pose with your toes together. Your knees can be together. You can press back that way. Or you can have your knees apart with your toes together and press back that way. The one difference is with your knees apart, you're working on opening your outer hips a little bit more. With your knees together, it's more your lower back. So just know what you need. You can let your hands drape around your body, or you can keep them up above your head. Breathe deeply here, just taking a moment to find the breath, to find your intention. When you are ready, bring your hands up above you. Slowly press up to come to a kneeling position. And just check in with how you're feeling. We're going to go through that flow on each side. We're going to move a little bit faster. If it feels too fast, Slow it down again. You don't have to go at my same pace or skip a posture. Whatever you're doing though, breathe deeply. Make sure it feels good. Here we go. Press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, left toes turn out, cartwheel open, warrior two. Look out past your right middle finger, draw your sternum towards your belly button, strong core. Straighten your right leg, take your rib cage forward, tick-tock over, triangle pose. Breathe. With your next inhale, reverse your triangle. Keep a micro bend in both legs so you're not hyperextending your knees. Inhale, both arms up, both toes turn out, star pose. Exhale, goddess. 2 deep breaths here. Straighten your legs, bring your arms out, turn your toes in toward each other, bring your hands to your hips, inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold forward. Any version you like, you can bring your hands down, you can do the toe wrap, you can take a twist, bring one hand down, take the other hand up, and then switch out. Bring your hands back to your hips, squeeze your elbows together, come up, reach out like a star, turn your right toes out, warrior two. Vinyasa your way. I'm going to do the classic one. You do you. 2 deep breaths here in down dog, just recalibrating. Come back to your intention. Inhale, step your left foot forward, turn your right toes out, cartwheel open, warrior two. Make sure your shoulders are melting down, nice open chest. Straighten your left leg, tick-tock over, triangle pose. Inhale, reverse your triangle, stay with your intention, stay with your breath. Keep your knees from locking out. Bring both arms up, turn your toes out, star pose, breathe. Exhale, goddess squat. Maybe you sway side to side for these 2 breaths. Hi. Sorry. I'll be done in just a minute. Okay. Yeah, thanks. Return to warrior two. Vinyasa your way. And come back to child's pose. Breathe deeply. Make your way to any relaxed position that you like. Hi, I'll be done in just a minute. And breathe deeply. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. I'm honored.